Hello, and welcome to episode 148 of Prog Review. And if you haven't read the description, I'm talking about this here box set by Van de Graaf generator called, rather imaginatively, The Box. But before I start wobbling me chops about this release, I'm going to hand you over to my good friend Darren, who will show you the goods. Oh yeah. Take it away, Darren.
Why, thank you, Darren. And yes, this is The Box by Van de Graaf Generator. Bless the Baby Born Today, that's CD1. The Tower Reels, that's CD2. One More Heaven Gain, CD3. And Like Something Out of Edgar Allan Poe is CD4. And there is VDGG Box 1 2000 by Virgin Records all those years ago. And as you can see, it opens like that. And let's have a look at the disc as well. See, look, there's a disc. You see that disc? Yeah, shiny. Put it back in, and there's another disc. See, that's disc 2, just in case. And we'll flip it backwards. There we go. Now you can look at disc 3. Just so you know, they're a genuine article. There you go. Didn't get them down the market off some Chinese fella. And there's disc 4. So let's have a look at the old booklet, shall we? As you can see, it's bound into the sleeve. It's a bit like the Genesis live archive, and there's a piece by the drummer, and there's a piece by Tony Banks there. So you've got Guy Evans and Tony Banks, and again, this is kind of run like a diary of the wheres and whens of the band. Like I said, some very interesting pictures. There's Pete Hamill being greedy, 3 cigs at once. I don't know. And, and you see what gigs they played, and, it's a running commentary of the band, and it's quite interesting. It's interesting in its own way, but again, you do want more. They certainly do leave you wanting more information. And so there you go. Pictures and pictures. La 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 la. And the band have split up and reformed quite a few times, so it's all been a bit of a laugh. And of course, this came before their big reformation, back in the day, back in 2005, when they reconvened at the Royal Festival Hall. Yes, I indeed was there. And so it takes you up to a certain point in their catalogue, which can be expected. None of the new stuff, nothing from the 3 newer albums. And there's the discography there as well. And there's Hugh Barton talking about his organ. He does like to brag about his organ, does old Mr. Barton. And there's Peter Hamill's take. He talks about the various songs, and David Jackson talks about what it's like being an exponent of the electric saxophone. Yes, indeed. And then there's a fan piece by Ian Laycock. And then again, all the pieces that you've got on the CDs there, just to keep you going. And again, they do fill every CD, so it's all good stuff. And there's all the thank yous. So that's it. So so this is Van de Graaf Generator, The Box. I better hand you back to that fat idiot. Take it away, Darren.
Well, I think you'll agree that was informative as ever. Well, what to say about this one? This one was released a good 12 years ago, 2000. Oh, where did the time go? It's 4 CDs, you've already seen them, and it's a rather curious collection. I think it's a curious collection because they're trying to do everything at once. It's part like live album, part rarity, part cuts from the standard releases. So it tries to be everything to everyone. It opens with the first CD with a load of, I think they're previously unreleased sessions from BBC's Top Gear and John Peel programmes. Now, the sound quality to these, don't get me wrong, I don't mind live performances when they're done in the studio, but these sound like they were recorded, underwater on using 2 tin cans and a piece of string. They really are appalling. The sound quality is really that bad. In fact, all of the live recordings on here, bar I think one of the Top Gear ones is bad, and theme 1, which was a BBC session, sounds okay, but all the other live tracks are appalling. There's on disc 2 and 3, there's some cuts from a gig they did in Rimini, 1975. 9th of August to be precise, and again they sound like they've been recorded underwater. They really are bootleg quality. When they talk about bootlegs, this is what bootlegs used to sound like, and I'm sure they will thrill the most ardent fan, but to me I hit the skip button, I'm afraid. But back to the actual compilation. So yeah, you have these live tracks, which again the quality is not that good. You have a few, like I say, rarities, theme 1 W, which is a B-side, and then you have songs culled from their various albums at that point. And again, it's very hard to represent VDGG by taking a couple of tracks off of at
least we can do is wave to each other.
A couple of tracks off of H2E, I'm the Only One. It doesn't really do the band justice. And also, some of the tracks that they take off, like Arrow and My Room and Merglis 3, they edit. Oh, we don't want them edited. But, thinking of it from someone, again, this is the thing, who's it aimed at? Because your average punter who's going to get into VDGG for the first time was never going to buy this because it's just too much. They'd never get past the first CD, so that's off. And then your hardened VDGG fan, yeah, they might come for the live tracks, but they're not necessarily going to stay around for the edited album version. So it's kind of there's a kind of a misstep there of what it's trying to be. I mean, it's not like the Genesis box set where you had a load of live stuff and a load of studio stuff that had never been heard before. This is, a very strange, conglomeration. It really, and I don't think it fits that well. But I mean, that's just me. That's just me moaning. Somebody out there might like it. Somebody there might get something from it. I don't see, because if you're going to be into VDGG, you're gonna be into them. And this should have been 4 CDs of live material or 4 CDs of rarities, and leave off the album stuff, or it should have been just a compilation of the album stuff to tempt in the first timer. Anyway, the box set itself features, it's very similar design to that Genesis Live Archive 1. There are a number of essays inside by Guy Evans. Tony Banks from Genesis writes something nice about the band because they used to tour together with the Charisma tours. They used to tour together. Hugh Banton writes something. Peter Hamill and David Jackson also writes little essays. Not what you'd necessarily expect, though. And there are some good pictures. There's lots of material in there that I hadn't seen before. So as a email, as a curiosity like that, it does deliver, because I remember at that time there wasn't much about the band written by the band, so it was kind of like very valuable in that respect. But unfortunately, a lot of the stuff on here has been superseded by the remasters that came out in, I think it was 2005, when they rejiggered the whole entire back catalogue. So I think this is why this has been deleted now. I don't think you can get it. It's very hard to find. But yeah, you're more likely to pick up the remastered albums, which has extra tracks and and rarities on, and nice little essays on the inside for you to read, and some pictures too. So yeah, it's a bit of a box set out of time now, which is a bit of a shame. But if you are a die-hard fan of VDGG, it's definitely worth hunting down and picking up, because it is, as far as I know, the only Van der Graaf Generator box set. There isn't another one. There have been other compilations, but I mean, if you're looking for like the band live, one I can recommend is the Maid of Owl tapes. That's a really good CD. Again, it's done by the BBC, and you can hear the band in the studio. This is why I'm surprised that the Top Gear and John Peel sessions sounded so awful. I thought the archive was in better condition, but there you go. When it comes to a rating, I'm going to give this 3 Sleepwalkers out of 5. Yes, that's 3 Sleepwalkers out of 5 because it feels a bit lopsided. It feels a little bit underdeveloped on one side. The live material just is absolutely awful. It really does sound muddy, and the album tracks, some have been edited. The choice, trying to cover a lot of ground, and you wonder, why. So it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I think it tries to be too much at once, and it kind of falls between 2 stools. So that's the reason for my rating. But again, as I've said, if you're a big fan, well worth checking out for the photos and the essays inside. Those are really the money shot, So that's it, really. My name's been Darren Locke. I've been burbling on about Van der Graaf Generators, the box, released in the year 2000. Let's all meet up in the year 2000. And thank you for being a patient audience, for watching these interminable videos that I produce. And we'll do this all again soon. Remember, thumbs up, thumbs down, social media, subscribe, unsubscribe. You know the score. There's only one more thing left to say, and that is Prog on.